Further ado, what's our vision? This is what we believe, and this is what many of us in the industry believe will happen. Over the next 5 years, every single application you interact with, whether that be for work or whether that be for personal use, will have a generative AI component to it to help these applications classify, enrich, interpret, serve, and act on data, or in other words, to help these applications engage with you. The human user interface is changing. This is really what's going on right now. And I equate the moment we're going on right now to what happens with the introduction of a number of key technologies in our history, but I'll pick 2 key ones. The first one is Windows 95. Before Windows 95, we had DOS. For those of you old enough to remember DOS, you had to remember every single command, and you have to remember the options behind these commands and how to use them. Very few of us knew how to use software at that time. And then Windows 95 came with the notion of a mouse and a window and menus and windows. The commands now are all in menus. That opened up consumption to a much bigger population. But the implication was we had to rewrite every single piece of software to leverage this new modality of interaction. The second very key inflection point in the mid-2000s was the introduction of the iPhone and touchscreens. Now we can use our fingers. Swipe right, up, down, left, pinch in, pinch out, etc., opened up consumptions to a whole bigger group of users, including my mom, who's an expert iPhone user. But in the same way, we have to go and re-architect and redesign every single application to leverage that new mode of modality. And both of these things worked very well for the simple tasks. For the more complex tasks, we still have very extensive workflows that we have to go through. Leveraging an ultrasound machine, as we've seen from the Sonosem application, you still have to read lots of manuals, lots of content to be able to engage and get the best out of something like that. That's a much more complex task than to encapsulate in a simple UI like a Windows environment or a touch screen. And this is really the main power of this new wave that we're in right now. We are now redefining how all of us can interact with computers just like we interact with each other. We just ask for the task to be done, and the task will get done.